When Cobra hit theaters in 1986, it solidified Sylvester Stallone's status as an action movie icon, with his portrayal of the tough-as-nails Detective Marion Cobretti capturing audiences' attention. Packed with explosive action, memorable lines, and a villain that left a mark on pop culture, the film quickly became a cult classic. But nearly 38 years later, where are the stars of Cobra now? As we step into 2025, many of the actors have had varied paths. Some remained in the limelight, while others stepped away from the spotlight or faced personal struggles. From unexpected transformations to tragic losses, let's look back at what happened to the cast of Cobra since its release. Ernie Santilli was born on April 21, 1938, and played Sergeant Tony Gonzalez in Cobra, 1986, at age 48. His character was the light-hearted, sarcastic counterpart to Cobretti's brooding intensity, offering comic relief while staying fiercely loyal. But off-screen, Santoni's reputation was far less charming. Known for explosive confrontations with producers and his tendency to openly mock less experienced crew members, he was quietly blacklisted from several sets during the late 80s. His once promising arc following Dirty Harry and Cobra fizzled out as directors deemed him too much trouble. Personally, Santoni's life was equally unstable. His long-term relationship with actress Lisa James ended publicly after accusations of infidelity and emotional abuse surfaced in the early 90s. He struggled for years with chronic illness and financial woes, relying heavily on sporadic guest appearances. Rumors of his alcohol dependency and volatile moods plagued his final working years. He died of cancer on August 1, 2020, at the age of 82. Val Avery, born July 14, 1924, was 62 when he played the no-nonsense Chief Halliwell in Cobra. A fixture in gritty crime dramas, Avery's on-screen persona often mirrored his off-screen disposition, irritable, rigid, and deeply resentful of authority. Despite a long career in film and TV, Avery harbored a growing bitterness over never landing leading roles. Crew members described him as impatient and volatile, with one assistant claiming he once threw a prop at a fellow actor during a disagreement. Avery also struggled with estranged family ties. His daughter reportedly cut contact with him in 1987 over what she later described as emotional abuse masked as discipline. Behind the gruff exterior was a man weighed down by regret and old wounds, many of which never healed. Despite working steadily into his 70s, Avery died virtually forgotten by the industry. He passed away from heart failure on December 12, 2009, at the age of 85. Art LaFleur was born on September 9, 1943, and took on the role of Captain Sears in Cobra at 43. His character embodied bureaucratic rigidity, frequently clashing with Cobretti's unorthodox methods. Though often cast as tough authority figures, LaFleur's real-life demeanor was far more volatile than the public saw. Behind his broad grin lay a controlling personality known for confrontational behavior. On more than one set, he reportedly demanded script rewrites to suit his screen presence and threatened to walk off if directors didn't comply. While his filmography remained steady, several producers anonymously described him as manipulative and unbearable under pressure. His personal life was no smoother. His decades-long marriage faced multiple infidelity rumors, including one scandal involving a young production assistant during a mid-90s TV shoot. LaFleur quietly settled a workplace harassment complaint in 1997, avoiding the press entirely. Diagnosed with Parkinson's in his later years, he slowly faded from the public eye. Art LaFleur died on November 17, 2021, at the age of 78. Dorothy Meyer, born November 6, 1924, was 62 when she appeared briefly as Nurse No. 1 in Cobra. Though her role was minor, Meyer's real-life story carried heavy shadows. Once a bright presence in off-Broadway circles, she vanished from the spotlight in the late 1950s following a whispered scandal involving a powerful studio head. Some said she refused his advances, others hinted at a quiet payout. whatever the truth, her career derailed overnight. After years of bit parts and soap opera cameos, Meyer re-emerged in Cobra, a rare return to the big screen. Behind the scenes, however, she battled chronic depression and remained fiercely private, especially after losing custody of her son during a widely publicized breakdown in 1974. Neighbors in her modest Los Angeles apartment recalled her as kind but paranoid, constantly convinced someone was watching her. She succumbed to cancer on September 24, 1987, at the age of 62, leaving behind no obituary, no fanfare, just fragments of a career that never got the second chance it deserved. Sylvester Stallone, born July 6, 1946, embodied Marion Cobretti in Cobra, 1986, at age 40. His character, a brooding, violent cop, was a projection of Stallone's own macho self-mythologizing during the Reagan era. But while Cobretti was feared by criminals, Stallone in real life became infamous for behind-the-scenes control. He rewrote Cobra's script to inflate his screen time, alienating cast and crew. A string of lawsuits and sexual misconduct allegations emerged over the decades, many quietly settled. His volatile marriage to Brigitte Nielsen, marked by public screaming matches and mutual infidelity, ended in divorce just a year after Cobra. His estranged relationship with his children, especially Sage, who later died tragically, haunted Stallone privately. Known for perfectionism bordering on cruelty, crew members described working with him as walking on landmines. In 2025, Stallone is 78, still active but shrouded in a legacy both iconic and undeniably toxic. Andrew Robinson, born on February 14, 1942, took on the role of Detective Monty in Cobra in 1986 at age 44. His character, rigid, cynical, and openly contemptuous of Cobretti's brutal tactics, mirrored the off-screen tension Robinson reportedly brought to the set. Though widely respected for his chilling performance in Dirty Harry, Robinson's career sputtered post-Cobra, dogged by persistent rumors that he was notoriously combative during filming and blacklisted by certain directors for being uncooperative. While he avoided overt scandal, his personal life has been marked by quiet sadness, an early divorce, estrangement from his only son, and a decade-long battle with chronic illness that left him partially deaf. Behind the curtain of academia, where he later taught acting, colleagues have spoken of his bitter temperament and obsession with being overlooked by Hollywood. In 2025, Robinson is 83, reclusive, and largely forgotten by the industry he once tried to shape, living in modest seclusion in Oregon. Brigitte Nielsen, born on July 15, 1963, played Ingrid in Cobra in 1986 at the age of 23. Her character, a glamorous yet hunted model, was a paradox of vulnerability and steely composure, caught in a web of violence but never fully broken. Off-screen, Nielsen's rise was as fast as her fall was public. After marrying Sylvester Stallone just months before Cobra was released, their volatile relationship unraveled spectacularly, with accusations of infidelity and manipulation splashed across tabloids. Her career nosedived after high-profile flops and erratic behavior, including public drunkenness and arrests. She battled severe alcohol and drug addiction throughout the 90s and was frequently mocked in the press for plastic surgeries and reality show meltdowns. Her chaotic love life included 5 marriages, one with a man 15 years her junior, and strained ties with several of her children. Often labeled too difficult to work with, she became a Hollywood cautionary tale. In 2025, at age 61, Nielsen lives in Milan with her youngest child, trying to maintain sobriety and relevance via social media. Brian Thompson, born August 28, 1959, was just 27 when he gave life to the chilling night slasher in Cobra, a role defined by primal rage and psychotic devotion to violence. Off-camera, Thompson seemed to carry a shadow of that same intensity. Though praised for his physicality, he was typecast as menacing villains, a branding he came to resent deeply. Industry whispers suggest he alienated colleagues with obsessive preparation and hostility during productions. Despite frequent appearances in cult hits, he was repeatedly passed over for major roles, allegedly due to on-set temper tantrums and an infamous feud with a Buffy the Vampire Slayer producer that ended in legal threats. His personal life has been no less stormy. A brief, turbulent marriage ended in a restraining order, and his son publicly accused him of emotional abuse in a since-deleted blog. Now 65, Thompson remains active in fan conventions, but his legacy is stained by behind-the-scenes volatility and a career that never reached its promised potential. Lee Garlington, born July 20, 1953, was 33 when she portrayed Nancy Stock, the cold-blooded female accomplice of the night slasher. The role, brief but memorable, reflected Garlington's knack for portraying emotionally detached characters, something that, ironically, fueled cruel gossip about her personality. Though never involved in overt scandal, Garlington's career has been quietly haunted by the fallout of her romantic relationship with actor Rock Hudson, which ended shortly before his AIDS diagnosis. She later admitted in an interview that she was manipulated into silence about his illness by studio execs. Some insiders suggest that her refusal to cooperate with tabloids at the time led to a subtle blacklisting. Unmarried and childless, Garlington has spoken of a life marked by loneliness and professional stagnation. Now 71, she lives in Santa Fe, where she runs a small acting studio, her quiet life masking the ghosts of a Hollywood that turned its back on her when she refused to play along. John Herzfeld, born April 15, 1947, played Cho in Cobra at the age of 39, though his ambitions clearly lay beyond acting. As a director, he tasted early acclaim before a series of box office failures derailed his trajectory. His 1996 film 2 Days in the Valley was rumored to have been plagued by behind-the-scenes sabotage. Some sources claim Herzfeld clashed violently with multiple actors, resulting in reshoots and lawsuits that were quietly settled. Privately, Herzfeld's long-term relationship with actress Joey Lauren Adams was marred by rumors of infidelity and emotional manipulation. Former assistants have described him as tyrannical and prone to paranoid rants about being blackballed in Hollywood. His estrangement from his siblings, one of whom died by suicide in 2001, is rarely spoken of but casts a long shadow. In 2025, Herzfeld is 78 and mostly inactive, shunned by the very industry he once dreamed of conquering. Marco Rodriguez, born on July 10, 1953, played the deranged supermarket killer in Cobra, 1986, at age 33. The character, a manic and violent triggerman, introduced the film's brutal tone. His frenzied, nihilistic presence perfectly captured the unhinged threat that loomed beneath Cobra's world. Though often praised for his intensity, he was repeatedly overlooked for major roles, reportedly losing out to less talented but more marketable actors. His personal life unraveled under the radar. He went through a messy, largely undocumented divorce in the early 90s, and former colleagues later hinted at volatile on-set behavior, including screaming fits and prolonged cold wars with directors. Rumors swirled of a years-long estrangement from his son, though Rodriguez never addressed it. His reclusive nature fueled speculation about mental health issues and substance dependency. One producer once accused him anonymously of being emotionally unpredictable and dark off-camera. As of 2025, Rodriguez is 71, living in near seclusion in New Mexico, rarely appearing in public and refusing interviews entirely. Roger Aaron Brown, born June 12, 1949, was 37 when he appeared in Cobra as Policeman No. 2, a role so minor most viewers missed him entirely. But Brown carved out a long, steady career in film and TV, known for authority figures and detectives. What isn't widely discussed is his stormy departure from a long-running TV series in the 90s, allegedly due to behind-the-scenes tensions and accusations of difficult behavior. Crew members described him as intensely private and brooding, and rumors suggested he butted heads with producers over script rewrites. Despite a public image of professionalism, he was once sued by a former assistant for verbal abuse and wrongful termination, though the case was quietly settled. Brown's personal life remained off the radar, but divorce records from 2001 revealed a bitter custody battle and allegations of emotional neglect. He also faced significant financial trouble after a failed real estate venture, which left him nearly bankrupt. As of 2025, Brown is 75, mostly retired, occasionally attending fan conventions, where he remains a stoic, guarded presence. David Rasche, born August 7, 1944, appeared in Cobra as Dan at age 42, a blink-and-miss supporting role that belied his sharper turn in Sledgehammer. Just a year before. Though known for dry wit and a cerebral charm on screen, Rasche's career was marred by repeated clashes with network executives. He was allegedly fired from a major stage production in the late 80s after a drunken altercation with a casting director. Behind his comedic veneer lay a turbulent personal life. His marriage reportedly suffered during his fame's peak due to infidelity rumors and his self-confessed workaholic tendencies. In one obscure 1991 interview, he admitted to having gone through therapy for rage issues, a fact conveniently buried by his PR team for years. Colleagues described him as impossible to direct during his post-Sledgehammer years, which may explain why his screen time diminished throughout the 90s. In 2025, Rasche is 80, semi-retired and living quietly, having long walked away from Hollywood's spotlight after being quietly blacklisted for reasons never publicly revealed. Nina Axelrod, born July 28, 1955, was 31 when she portrayed the anonymous waitress in Cobra. Despite the tiny role, she once dreamed of becoming a major leading lady, riding early praise for her performance in Time Walker, 1982. However, Axelrod's career stalled sharply, rumored to be the result of an ill-fated romantic entanglement with a powerful producer that ended in scandal. According to industry whispers, she was blackballed after rejecting unwanted advances, a story echoed by a cryptic 1993 interview where she spoke of losing everything for saying no. Her brief engagement to an actor known for domestic violence further dragged her into tabloid hell, and though she left the limelight, stories of emotional abuse and a nervous breakdown circulated. She pivoted to casting but never found redemption in the industry's eyes. Rumors persisted that she suffered from chronic depression and substance abuse in the early 2000s. Now 69 in 2025, Axelrod lives a quiet life in Los Angeles, working occasionally behind the scenes and avoiding public appearances altogether. Gregory Cruz, born on February 14, 1957, portrayed a janitor in Cobra, 1986, at the age of 29. Though his role was brief, the character added an eerie layer to the tension-filled supermarket sequence. Cruz built a modest career playing lawmen and blue-collar characters in television procedurals, but his name never reached marquee status. His career remained stagnant for decades, with rumors circulating of being blacklisted after multiple altercations on set. Behind the scenes, Cruz battled severe alcoholism throughout the 1990s, leading to multiple DUI arrests and rehab stints. His personal life was scarred by a volatile marriage that ended in a restraining order after an alleged domestic incident in 1998. Friends from acting school have distanced themselves, citing erratic behavior and paranoia. Unconfirmed whispers suggest he became involved in fringe spiritual cults in the mid-2000s, abandoning acting altogether. As of 2025, Gregory Cruz is 68 and lives in seclusion in rural New Mexico, rarely seen in public and refusing all interview requests. Condasian, born on January 27, 1941, took on the role of a nurse in Cobra at 45. Her character offered a fleeting sense of normalcy amidst the carnage, but off-screen, Condasian's life has been anything but ordinary. Despite critical acclaim on stage, including a Los Angeles Drama Critics Circle Award, Her Hollywood trajectory was repeatedly derailed by whispered accusations of being difficult, with casting directors blackballing her after a notorious on-set screaming match during a 1988 TV shoot. Behind the elegant exterior was a complex personal life. Her long-term partner was a married producer embroiled in multiple harassment lawsuits, which stained her public image by association. Condasian's memoir, quietly shelved after legal threats, allegedly contained shocking anecdotes implicating several powerful figures in the theater world. Following years of therapy and a self-imposed exile from the spotlight, Karen Condasian is now 84 and teaches occasional writing workshops in Los Angeles, fiercely protective of her privacy and reputation. Who is your favorite character from Cobra? How do you feel knowing that some of the actors have passed away? Don't hesitate to leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy this content, please remember to like, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you won't miss future videos. Thank you so much.